Coming up on Ann Arbor Tonight, we have Mariah and James, everybody, as our musical guests. We have Andy Beningo, our comic, and the wonderful Ann Arbor magician, Jeff Wawrzaszek, is on the show. You know, it's interesting. A new world record was set recently. A man ate 255 peeps in 5 minutes. I mean, that's amazing, huh? And he ate nearly 1 peep for every 5 seconds and became famous. And now, not a peep out of him. I don't get it. Yeah, did you catch this new traveling show that cuts things in half? They take ordinary items and slice them in half. And it's amazing stuff, but unfortunately the tour was shut down right in the middle of it. A new sports bra is out that can tell when you're getting stressed. And of course, most women reported that would be, of course, when they're having to wear the sports bra. Japan plans to drill through the Earth's crust and reach the mantle, and many Japanese are fearful that such drilling could cause an earthquake or even awake Godzilla. You know, some happy news, though. The Lions QB Matthew Stafford's wife had twins, and everyone's doing fine, although Matt typically keeps overthrowing the diaper pail by 10 yards. Yeah. You know, but in local news, guys, really awesome stuff. Festivals just happened. You know, and it was amazing, though. It was so crowded, I couldn't even pull strings to get in. Yeah. No, and of course, in recent news, too, and local news, the Ann Arbor Hash Pass just happened, and of course, it was so crowded that there ended up being a crowd of 10,000 people there. Can you believe it, guys? 10,000 people. Man, with something that big, it really had to be a joint effort. Man. No, folks, we got a great show, so please stick around, and we'll be right back. All right, everybody, welcome back to Ann Arbor Tonight. Yeah. All right, wonderful. Yes, this is episode 6. We're super, super excited. Again, we got a great show for you today. You know, and it's interesting because, again, we've been getting all these really, really interesting calls and actually drunk dials. And, of course, we've been getting a lot of them. And so we've got some more. So they're very interesting, folks. So let's take a listen.
Hi, Mr. Damon. This is Joe, Tom, Frank again. Listen, man, I heard that you bought a zoo, and so I was going to ask you about. I used to have a toucan. I wasn't going to own any more pets, right? And I got it because I like Fruit Loop cereal. And I went to work one day. I left the cage door open, and I came home and it was on the table, and all its feathers had fallen out. And I was very sad, but it turns out it was just a chicken that I forgot to put in the freezer. Anyway, because you get a zoo, I want to know if you can get me a small dog, like one of those cockadoodle poos. I think it's called a cockadoodle poo. So yeah, if you could hook me up with that, Mr. Damon, thank you very much. Hi, Mr. Damon. This is, you know who this is by now. We had a thing like this guy named Borderline Man. He came like in our neighborhood, and he was throwing cats up in trees. So I know he's like a friend of yours, and he's gonna be on your show. So if you could like just tell him to not like throw animals in trees, because I don't want him to throw my new cockadoodle poo dog in the tree. Okay, I gotta go. Goodbye. Thank you, Mr. Damon. Bye.
All right. Well, Joe Tom, thank you very much for your wonderful call-ins. I would like to point out yet again that I am Zach Damon, not Matt Damon. Therefore, I did not buy a zoo, and I cannot help you out with that. I do apologize, but thank you very much for the sentiment. And please, keep watching the show. We appreciate your fandom. And all of that. Thank you so much. And Borderline Man, by the way, Yeah, very interesting thing that you mentioned, that he actually made a stop in the studio. So let's take a look.
I am Borderline Man, the world's least interesting superhero. My superpower being the dividing line for unattractiveness. If you're the least bit more attractive than I am, you get laid. I am Borderline Man. As such, I am the world's greatest wingman. I can make any guy look better simply by standing next to him. Case in point. I have no need for a secret identity. No one cares about me anyway. I am Borderline Man.
All right, folks. Well, thank you so much for watching Ann Arbor Tonight. And coming up after the break, we're going to have our wonderful interview guest, Mr. Julian Pavone. Please stay tuned.
It's already cooked. I just put the whole pineapple in, okay?
Is it okay? I can put my fingers wherever I want?
Yeah, wherever you want. Now,
We're not saying it didn't happen. We're saying we can make it better.
we need to change it.
And that's okay.
This is a kind of a musical tribute that we have for you today.
Though this was actually a Francis Keith Scott song. No, it wasn't.
Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. What's up?
This is green screen fun. And
Yeah, we got a music video. We
look better without him.
We do look better without him.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Ann Arbor Tonight. Folks, we have a very, very special guest. Please give a warm Ann Arbor Tonight welcome for our feature interview guest, the world's youngest drummer, Julian Pavone.
Thank you. Thank you, Zach.
Hey, Julian, thanks for being here, man.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
Oh, this is great. I mean, having you back in Ann Arbor, it's great. You know, man, so you've done a lot. You know, you're from Michigan originally,
Yes.
Macomb, Michigan, I believe. And what would you say, what do you like about Michigan? What's your favorite thing about it?
Just my whole family's here. I grew up here. I just know the area well, and it's just nice to see all my family again on my spring break because I moved to New York.
Oh, wow, yeah.
So yeah, I'm back here, and
Nice.
I'm having a great time.
That's awesome. How do you like New York, man?
New York's good. It's busy,
Yeah.
definitely busy, but I'm a new school. The kids are nice. So, you know, I'm definitely adjusting, but it's going to take some time, obviously.
No, that's awesome, man. And you're playing with your band in high school now? How do you like that?
Well, I'm still doing middle school band at my new school.
Oh, okay, cool.
But it's going really well. I'm hoping to get more advanced pieces pretty soon. But yeah, the teacher knows about my background, so I'm definitely like getting used to band there.
No, this is awesome, man. And you know, it was crazy, guys, because he came to the studio tonight. He came all the way from Standish, Michigan to be here. And what were you doing in Standish?
I was performing at a school, and they actually ended up not having any music program.
Oh, wow.
So I wanted to kind of show some like support almost,
Yeah.
to show that, you know, if you just work hard enough and put your mind to something, you can do it.
Totally.
So yeah.
That's awesome, man. And how was the show?
It was incredible. The kids were awesome. The kids were really nice, and I just loved being around them. They were incredible.
Yeah, that's great. So in your mind, you know, I think it's important, right? Because a lot of like high schools are cutting back arts programs and stuff. So in your mind, as a current student, I mean, why is it important to have those programs in school?
Well, what I know is that there's been studies showing that music helps with the brain and it can make you smarter. So I think, and it just helps other people express their feelings in a different way than just talking or something. You're able to express yourself in music and write songs that show how you feel.
Totally, man. I couldn't agree more. And it's really interesting, too, because you and we actually did an interview back when you were 8 years old, and I'd love to take a look at it. So let's go ahead and take a look.
Sure.
Hi, I'm Julian Pavone, and I'm the youngest professional drummer in the world.
Julian, what do you think it was that spiked your interest in playing the drums at such an early age?
It was music that spiked my interest because I started in my mom's stomach, and my dad used to put headphones in my mom's stomach, and I used to kick to the rhythm and keep time. And then I became this.
If you couldn't play the drums, what other instrument would you play?
I would play the guitar because I used to play guitar. And violin, and maybe some other instruments.
What do you usually like to do other than play the drums?
I like to yo-yo because that's the thing in my school. I like playing games, like sometimes board games, video games. I like playing Caught Up. And much, much, much more.
You've met so many influential people already, but who is someone that you haven't met yet that you would like to meet?
I would love to meet John Bonham, and he already passed, but Buddy Rich, Ringo Starr, and Max Roach.
Have you ever had a funny moment happen, backstage or on stage? And if so, can you tell me about it?
When my dad almost passed out backstage.
Are you serious? He almost passed out?
Yeah, when he walked into the room when we were meeting Charlie Watts because we had backstage passes, I told Charlie Watts my dad's going to pass out.
Can you give me a face? You've been featured on the Oprah Winfrey Show, Good Morning America, in New York City, and many, many more. How do you balance school and the grinding schedule of appearances?
Well, I sometimes have to skip school, but the teacher gives me the work that we did. I usually finish in 1 or 2 days.
Where do you envision yourself when you're 18?
That's 9 years from now, but I think I vision myself earning awards and being pretty successful and having a great time.
Cool. What kind of awards would you like to win?
Grammys.
Grammys?
I would like to win a Grammy.
Yeah?
And
Best New Artist?
thank you.
Do you have any words of inspiration for other artists?
If you're into any instrument, always keep practicing and just keep on going. Don't ever stop. You got to push yourself.
Well, speaking of practicing, how often do you practice?
I practice 3 to 5 hours a day, 7 days a week.
And do you ever just say, you know what, I don't feel like doing this anymore, or is it always just something that you want to do?
I say it. I say it like inside, but I don't show it.
Mm-hmm.
But I still do it, and it's great to get it over with. Then you get to hang out and relax.
What do a lot of your friends think about you being a professional drummer that tours, that travels, that do all of this stuff, and yet you're not at school a good part of the time? I mean, how do they feel about that?
They treat me just like any normal kid.
Now, does your school have a band program, and have you joined or will you join in the future, like in high school? Will you join the band?
I probably will join a band, but I was in a band in pre-K 4, and I played with a high school jazz band at the music hall.
And how old were you?
4.
And you were playing with a high school jazz band at 4 years old?
Yes.
One little boy from Metro Detroit is playing drums for a world-famous band.
Julian, Pavone, and the Contours. Let's check it out.
What does every man look at first?
You've done so much at 9 years old. So what would you say is your most proud moment so far as a musician?
Getting in the Guinness Book of World Record book. That was really cool, and my parents obviously helped me out by pushing me to keep drumming, and that's how I got the record. And meeting Charlie Watts.
How did you feel when you saw yourself in that book?
It's great to see myself in the Guinness Book of World Record.
You were on the Oprah Winfrey Show.
On the drums, just 1 year out of diapers, 3-year-old Julian Pavone.
What was that like?
It was great meeting Oprah, and she was really nice and really pretty, and I was on there when I was 3 and when I was 7.
Did she give you a hug?
Yes. She picked me up, and then she asked, where are you from? And I said, Africa. And she laughed so hard she almost dropped me, but I lived. I was good. I didn't fall.
Why did you say Africa? You didn't say Michigan?
I just heard that you're from Africa. Your soul's from Africa, and you're like a drummer. So I said Africa.
So, can you tell me what it's like to be the sister of the youngest professional drummer in the world?
Well, it's really cool because Julian's my brother. I love him so much.
Tell me, I heard that you sing and you also play the drums.
Yes.
So, I heard that you guys are in a band together. Is that true?
Yes.
Julian and Annalisa Pavone. Let's bring them out. Come on out, you guys. Oh, hi, guys.
I'm going to be playing a song, and Alice's going to be singing the song called Cups from the movie Pitch Perfect.
All right, let's see if they can impress or delight Miss White. Go ahead.
I got my ticket for the long way round. 2 bottles whiskey for the way. And I sure would like some sweet company. And I'm leaving tomorrow, what do you say? When I'm gone, when I'm gone. You're gonna miss me when I'm gone. You're gonna miss me by my hair. You're gonna miss me everywhere. Oh, you're gonna miss me when I'm gone.
Yeah! Wow! That was pretty good.
All right. Well, Julian, you know, I think what you're doing now and being out in New York and then just promoting other high school programs and then just continuing to play. I mean, do you have any other drumming gigs coming up?
I do have some more. I'm going to be going back to Standish to perform for the high school. I'm going to be working on getting my band back together, and I got some few gigs along the way. So yeah, I'm excited.
And what's your band called?
My Julian Pavone Experience.
Oh, that's awesome. I mean, we'd love to have him on the show.
Yeah, definitely. I would too.
Heck yeah, man. Well, I wish you, Julian, the best. And please get a chance to check out Julian Pavone at littledrummerbaby.com. And thanks so much, Julian.
Well, thank
Great
you.
to
My
see
pleasure.
you, man.
Nice to meet you too. Thank you.
If you haven't seen Olga's Kitchen lately, you haven't seen Olga's Kitchen. Chicken fajitas, Carolina barbecues, Angus steak burgers. It's not a sandwich. It's an Olga, only at Olga's Kitchen.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Ann Arbor Tonight. All right. Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you so much. We've got a special treat for you tonight. So please, folks, give a warm Ann Arbor Tonight welcome to the one, the only, magician Jeff Wawrzaszek.
Thank you. Thanks very much. Thank you. Thanks very much. It's nice to be here on Ann Arbor Tonight in Ann Arbor with an Ann Arbor studio audience, and I'm from Ann Arbor, so. Yeah, my name is Jeff Wawrzaszek. I've been doing magic about 51 years, so for a good long time, all around the country, all around Michigan, and now all around Ann Arbor. So some of the studio audience may have seen me before. I always like to get an idea whether anybody's ever seen me before. So by your applause, how many people here have either seen me before or are seeing me for the first time tonight? By your applause. How many have never seen me before? Raise your hand or by your applause. And how many could really care less? By your applause. Okay. Well, I'm going to start off the show by doing one of my favorite tricks. It's a trick I learned when I was maybe 10 years old, and I've been doing it for over 50 years. It's a trick with a piece of rope. Somebody once said, if you give a magician enough rope, he'll do a trick with it. So I will for you this evening. This little rope has no trap doors, no hidden mirrors, no secret pockets, just two ends. One on either has a center located right in the middle. And aside the rope, I have my pair of kindergarten scissors. This is the one where the magician takes the rope, finds the center, and cuts it in half, leaving two separate pieces. Now, after he's done that, he usually says some kind of a magic word, makes some kind of a magical pass, and somehow the two ropes come right back together again into one separate piece, like that. Now, usually when I do that, I get just a little bit of applause. Thank you. Okay, that certainly was little enough. I'll tell you what. If you missed that, I'll do it again. We'll just tie the two ends together. That makes a nice large loop of rope. And if I were a real magician, I could just cut the rope in half and put it back together. But if I were a real magician, I wouldn't need the scissors. I could just take my fingers and cut right about, right about there. So that would leave 2 pieces of rope. Thank you. Thanks very much. 2 pieces of rope, which when untied should both be exactly the same size, except for this one. I seem to have misjudged the cut. We have one rope a little bit. Actually, a whole lot longer than the other one. Actually, the ends aren't too bad. The ends are nice and even. It's the middle that's the problem. If I had cut in the middle, I would have had 2 pieces of rope, both exactly the same. Well, they are the same size. Thank you. Thanks. Thanks. That's not the trick. The idea of the trick is only to put these 2 pieces of rope back together again. To do that, I just wave my hand over the top of the ropes and say the magic words I learned in church just the other day. Watch. Bingo! If I do that, the 2 ropes come right back together. Well, with the exception of the small blemish located right there in the middle, I think I did pretty well. This can be fixed. If I just take the knot and place it behind my back, if I do that, the knot will melt away like a taxi in a rainstorm. The rope will be in one piece, and the applause will be deafening. Thank you. Thanks very much. Thanks. You know, I sometimes do this very same thing and occasionally get a few people in the audience who don't really believe the rope is cut and restored. And should any of you people be non-believers this evening and not think that I did indeed cut and restore the rope, all I can say is knots to you. That's what you end up with. And I thank you again. Thank you. Thanks very much. Thank you. Well, as a magician, one of my favorite audiences is a family audience. So every year during the summertime, I get to do maybe 60 or 70 libraries all around Michigan and Ohio, Midwest, and so forth. And every year when the libraries do a summer reading program, they have kind of a theme. And a couple of years ago, it's all about science. So I came up with a really cool idea that combines a little bit of science, a little bit of mystery, and a little bit of magic, okay? It consists of 3 different props. You have a small container, a small pudding cup can's about the right size for this. You need a small piece of paper, and you need a glass of water. Now, if you try this at home, you want to try this over the sink or over the tub because it doesn't always work and I try it. But when it works, it's a very cool experiment. In fact, it's so cool, I want to make sure the people in the studio want to see this, so I need to make myself a little bit taller. So they actually invented a magic wand that will make me a little taller. If you give it a little shake, it turns into a nice little fluffy bath mat. If I set it on the floor and step in the bath mat, it does 2 things. It makes me a little bit taller and makes me a whole lot more confident about trying this water trick in the studio here, okay? Here's what you do. You take a container and you fill it with water right to the very top, just about like that. Take a piece of paper and place it on top of the container just like this. Put your fingers on the top, put your fingers on the bottom, and you flip it over very, very quickly, just like that. Now that's where science takes over. Because science is when you can remove your hand from the bottom of the container and the paper and the water remain suspended. Thank you. A mystery is when you can remove the paper from the container and the water remains suspended. I once did this over my science teacher's desk, and when it didn't work, I was suspended, but that's a whole different story. I'm going to flip this over very quickly because, see, magic's when you think you've just seen what you've really just seen, and your belief remains suspended. That's magic, and I hope you liked it. Thank you. Thanks very much. Thank you. Well, right now, I'm going to show you one of the oldest tricks in magic. This is a trick that goes back over 2,000 years. When I was about maybe 16 years old, I saw a world champion magician do this very same illusion on TV in a way that nobody else had ever done it in about 2,000 years. But it's one trick that I was so inspired that I spent the entire summer practicing this trick over and over again until I finally got it right, but I made one really big mistake. I may have made it look a little too easy, but it's one of the most difficult tricks in magic to master. It's the most difficult trick that I do, and it's called the Mist of the Rings, and it looks something like this. And that's the mystery. Thank you. Thanks. Well, I have one final thing I'd like to do for you. It's actually one of my favorite illusions. This is an illusion that was invented by a very good friend of mine about 50 years ago or so. I've been doing this about 45 years or so. It's an illusion called the illusion of the torn and restored newspaper. And in this illusion, I take a newspaper and I tear it to shreds with just a bit of magic, just a bit of mental concentration. I'm going to try to put all the pieces back together. So I'd like you, if you would, to remember either a picture or an advertisement or something within the pages as I page the paper at this time. Now, I should mention, by the way, this is called an illusion for one reason and one reason only. That's because when I do this, I never really tear the paper at all. Now, some of you might think I'm tearing the paper because it kind of sounds like the paper is being torn, doesn't it? Of course, the illusion is aided by the fact that some people actually think that they see separate pieces. But as I was saying, I never tear the paper. It's only just an illusion. In fact, I've even had people come back to me after a show. They say, you know, I could have sworn you tore that newspaper. But again, I say, I never tear the paper. It's only just an illusion. Now, here's the magic part takes place, because this is where I do kind of a barehanded fuse welding process and magically put it back together. So whatever you do, don't blink, or you'll miss it in the count 3. Watch. 1, 2, 3, and there it is, completely restored. If you don't believe me, take a look. You see, if we page through, you'll find everything back together again, which is exactly why we call this the illusion of the torn and restored newspaper. Thank you. Thanks so much. Thank you. Thanks. Thanks, Ann Arbor.
Hey, come on over here.
Right.
Come on over here, man. Have a seat with me. Yeah, from Ann Arbor. So why do you love the city?
I love Ann Arbor because it's a unique city. You can have all the great things of Chicago and New York and all the big cities and so forth, but without all the congestion and the traffic and all the real things that you might have in a bigger city. So I love Ann Arbor, the university here, and all the great other opportunities and so forth. It's a great city.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, you and I were talking a little bit, and I didn't know this until recently, but Orson Welles was actually into magic.
Yeah, Orson Welles and Johnny Carson, Dick Cavett, a lot of these great talk shows hosts started off as magicians there. So
that's right.
I think we should probably, since you're doing such a great job following their footsteps, I think you should have a little magic background as well. Would that be okay?
Oh yeah, sure. Let's do it. What do we do? Yeah. All right.
We should see we can bring out the inner magic of Zach here. Okay,
There
so
we
we're
go.
gonna see. You actually probably didn't realize, but you actually are a magician. Have you ever done any card tricks or any magic tricks?
I have
before?
never done that
Well,
before.
you want to do a card trick?
Yeah, let's do
do
it.
I bought along and I have right in my pocket over here. I bought along. Did you bring some cards?
You know what? I didn't.
Oh, I brought along my bag of invisible stuff, and this always kind of comes in handy for times when you forget to bring your cards. So Zach, in this bag I have an invisible deck of playing cards. So you just reach in the bag and grab the invisible cards out of the bag if you would. Okay, just grab those cards out of there. Take those cards. That's really good. Take those cards out of the bag, Zach. Give them, if you would, give the cards a real good shuffle. Just mix them all up, Zach. Just give them a good shuffle. Show them how good you are at shuffling cards, okay?
Sure.
Shuffle them up, okay? Okay, but you may want to take them out of the box first. They're a little easier to shuffle. Put the box on the table there, Zach. Okay, make sure the box on the table. That's good. All right. Good. Take the cards, spread them on the table. Make sure there's no trick cards, mark cards, jokers, any. They look okay?
They look good to me.
I'm going to turn around for a second, just a minute. I want to have to take one card of the deck, show it to everybody here. Make sure they see it at home and in the studio, okay? I'll turn my head so I can't see, but take one card, show it to everybody here, but don't let me see it. I'll turn the other way, okay, Zach? All right? So take one card. Hold it nice and high so they can all see. Hold it to the camera so they can see as well, okay?
Okay.
Remember the card.
Okay.
Don't tell me what it is. Put the card back in the deck face down. Face down, Zach. It's the only one face down in that face-up deck of cards here, okay?
Okay.
Then scoop up the cards one more time.
Okay.
Give them another quick shuffle. Put them back in the box, okay? And if you would just take the cards and just drop in the bag.
All right.
Oh, look at that, Zach. The invisible bag has brought out our deck of cards. This could be the exact same deck of cards you just shuffled up, only in the visible state.
Right.
Now, if this is the same deck of cards you just shuffled up, there should be one card and one card only turned over in the deck. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Do you remember your card?
I do remember.
Would you just tell everybody here the name of the card? We'll see if your card is turned over the deck.
All right. Yes, it was the black ace of spades.
Ace of spades?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Nobody ever says the ace of spades.
Oh, is that right?
Did you guys all see the ace of spades when Zach showed you that card? You guys are more nuts than I am. I'm going to open the deck. I'll see if any cards have been turned over reverse in this particular deck of cards. I just take the cards and spread them out. See if any cards have been turned over the deck. Zach, there's one card in the deck that's been turned over. This card right over here. What did you say your card was?
So it was the black ace of spades. There.
Wouldn't that be amazing? That was the only card turned over?
It would be amazing.
The amazing Zach, right? Hey, how did you do that? Amazing, Zach.
That's awesome.
You can now say you can follow in Johnny Carson's steps and Dick Cavett steps and Orson Welles and all that other stuff. You got to put a little bit more weight on to be Orson Welles.
I can't bring those to a casino, though, right?
You can put it back in the invisible bag and then just, work that way. That works real well that way.
Yeah,
so,
no, that was awesome.
Thanks.
Man, thank you.
You did it.
That was great.
Give that credit.
Yeah. Wonderful. So Jeff, you perform all around Michigan and all around the city. I mean, talk about some upcoming gigs you got, right?
Yeah. Well, basically, I do. During the summertime, I do maybe 60, 70 libraries around Michigan, Ohio, Indiana, and so forth. During the rest of the year, every other Wednesday, I'm at the Buffalo Wild Wings here in Ann Arbor, the one near Briarwood here.
Yeah.
Also, every last Tuesday of the month, I'm at the new Texas Roadhouse. So I do some magic there from 6 to 8, and then up in Brighton on the opposite Wednesdays when I'm working Brighton or the Buffalo Wild Wings up there. So I work there on the opposite Wednesdays when I'm not in Ann Arbor. So you can always call the one in Ann Arbor, find out when I'm there if you'd like. And got another friend that works there in the opposite nights as well. So
there we go. Now I'm curious, just what gets a magician into magic? Is it a calling?
When I got started from a magic set from a cereal box. I ate 17 boxes of rice checks. Sent in 17 box tops and 50 cents, and a little bit, maybe 4 or 5 weeks later, I got a little rice checks magic set that kind of got me on my way. I started reading books and never grew up. So I've been doing this for about 51 years now.
I didn't know we had to grow up.
Yeah, no, you don't. I haven't yet. So that's kind of the plan there.
Real quick, for any aspiring kids or magicians watching now, what do you say to them?
The best thing to do, a lot of kids are going on YouTube and looking at YouTube videos and learning magic that way. And some of the stuff is good and some of it's kind of so-so. But the best thing to do is really to, I think, go to the books, go to the library, check out the library books. There's some great books out there. Find out about magic conventions. There's magic clubs in a lot of the bigger cities. There's one that Ann Arbor has that is a great magic club that meets once a month. So if you want to learn some magic from other magicians in the area, that's a great place to get started as well. But best place, I think, is to start with the library books and check out the YouTube, but kind of try to be careful not to get some of the stuff that's just not up to par. Look for some good quality magicians to teach you on YouTube if you do.
All right, and if people want to see you in their home or at their venue, where do they go?
They go to a2magic.com.
There we go. We love it.
That's my website is a2magic.com, and that's you can find out about the shows I do, kid shows, family shows, corporate events, walk around magic, whatever. So a2magic.com.
All right, Jeff Wawrzaszek, thank you so much.
Thanks,
We hope to have you on the show again.
Sounds good. Thanks.
All right, thanks so much.
Good night. Thanks.
All right, folks, thank you so much. And coming up, we're going to have our wonderful, wonderful comic, Beningo,
All right,
everybody.
sounds good. All right.
Marks the spot, but you'll never find it, 'cause there ain't no X on the heart you're looking for. Oh, X marks the spot, but you'll never find it, 'cause there ain't no X on my heart.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Ann Arbor Tonight. Yeah. Woo! Yes. Thank you so much. Guys, thank you so much. I am so excited. So excited. We've got a special treat for you. Please give a warm Ann Arbor Tonight welcome for Andy Beningo, who was recently, yes,
Thank you very much. It's great to be here. Very excited to be here. Very excited you got my name right. That is my name. Andy Beningo. Beningo. That's kind of an unusual last name, isn't it? It sounds like some kind of creature you'd find on the Animal Planet, doesn't it? Like two Australian guys sitting around drinking beer. Maybe the Beningo ate your baby. Dingo, dingo, they're quite vicious. Be careful. It's an Italian last name. We came from a typical Italian family. We're all in the witness relocation program, so you guys saw me tonight, but if anybody asks, you didn't see me. Keep it on the down low. We grew up Catholic. That's kind of an intimidating religion. You know, it's a religion based on just intimidation and guilt. They have this thing called confession, where every week you go in this like little penalty box thing, and you tell the priest every bad thing that you've ever done. But my brother and I, we were kind of troublemakers in church. One year I got a stopwatch for my birthday, so we'd actually time how long other people were in confession, just for fun. You know, it'd be like 9 minutes, 38 seconds. That lady's going to hell, you know. It's not good. Grew up the middle child. That's always tough, you know. It's very tough, especially if your other siblings are more successful than you are. Like my older brother, he got married, opened his own company, moved out of the house. My younger sister, she got married, opened her own company, moved out of the house. I was like, you know, it'd be awesome, Mom and Dad, is if you guys left, I'd have my own place. I'm glad you laughed at that because they did not. They're like, you should get a real job. But I eventually moved out of my house. My wife and I, we actually just celebrated 5 years of marriage, if you can believe that. I've been married 5 years, yeah. Thank you very much. I was nervous about proposing because I was talking to my older brother, and he told me you're supposed to spend 2 months' pay on the engagement ring. Have you heard that? 2 months' pay. I got nervous because I'm like, I'm a comedian, you know? Like, if I did that, the ring would cost $40, you know? Like, she'd be walking around with one of those ring pop suckers, showing it to her friends. But she's a little mad at me right now, my wife. She wanted to do this big anniversary date night. She was like, I want to go somewhere special. You know where she wanted to go for our date night? She wanted to go see a revival of the musical Cats. That's what she wanted to do, yeah. I was like, I'll go, but I'm going to bring a laser pointer just to watch them all freak out on stage, you know. There's your anniversary gift right there. Thank you very much. I'm glad you enjoyed that one. She did not. But it's a lot of fun being married. We don't get out very much for date night. We have 2 kids, a 3-year-old, Lauren, and we just had a baby last year, which is exciting. Yeah, it's exhausting. It really is, man. I try to just lie about getting out of the house. Like sometimes I lie to my wife about having stand-up shows, and I get a hotel and sleep for a couple hours. I'm going to Ann Arbor. I'm out of here. She's like, that's not a real place. I'm like, what? Like, use MapQuest. I'm pretty sure it's a real thing. But this is horrible to admit as a father. My 1-year-old Joey, he's got a fat head. Like, I know that's horrible to admit as a father, but have you ever seen a baby with a head that's like way too big? We took him in for his doctor's appointment. His body is at the 10th percentile. His head is at the 90th percentile. So he's got like an infant body, but like the head of a 27-year-old man, you know? I don't know what kind of job he could get if his head keeps growing like that. Maybe like a sports mascot or something like that, but I don't know. We love having them, though. We love having the kids. But, you know, it's weird because when you're a parent, there's certain things you can't do that you used to be able to do when you were single. Like my favorite thing that I can't do anymore, I would like to just eat a cookie by myself. That's what I would like to do. Just eat one cookie. Like I don't think I've had a cookie to myself since 2014. You know what I mean? It's like the minute you open up a container of cookies, they're coming at you like those zombies from The Walking Dead, you know? Like, this is embarrassing to admit. I've actually locked myself in my own house just to try to eat a cookie, you know? I've locked myself in my own bedroom. That doesn't even work because then their hand comes underneath the door like a cat. Like, what are you doing in there, Dad? Can I have one, please? Let me have one. But it's fun. I love having them. It was tough trying to name kids. That's tough, you know? They give you this big book of baby names, you know, and some of these names you can't even pronounce anymore. I'm looking at them like, who'd name their kid Declan? Like, what kind of name is Declan? My wife's like, that says Declan, you moron. And I was like, oh, all right. I can read, I'm pretty sure. Turns out I cannot. But it was tough. Like I said, my wife, she's like, well, what do you want to name your son? Like, what's your number one choice? And I said, I want to name him Luke, just so I can walk around the house going, Luke, I am your father. Get to the dark side. She's like, you're a moron. She asked me about my name. She goes, I asked her, I go, well, what do you want to name him? Her top choice? Frank. What do you think of that? Right? Frankie Beningo? That's like the most mafia-sounding kid in the world. Like, how you doing? I'm Frankie Beningo. Forget about it. kid. He stole my lunch money, you know? Another name she liked, and I can't make this story up. She goes, I've loved this name since I was a little girl. It's more of a nickname. She liked the name Bubba. Yeah, Bubba. I'm looking right at you guys. I was like, why don't we just name him D-Clan at this point? Let's call him Honey Boo Boo. I don't know. Bubba Beningo makes him sound like he has a stuttering problem. You know what I mean? What's your name, little guy? Beningo. All right, take your mascot head, get out of here. And I'm actually going to get out of here. Thank you very much. You're a wonderful audience. This was a lot of fun. Thank you very much for having me. Thank you. Hey,
No problem.
thank you.
Have a seat.
Thanks a
Have a
lot.
seat, man.
Appreciate it. That was fun. Thanks for having me on.
Man, that was great. That
Yeah,
was great.
thank you so
Man,
much.
This is great. So you were just on, too, the Comedy Central's new show, Detroiters.
Oh, I actually got cut out of it, believe it or
did ya?
not. Yeah,
Oh,
I was
man.
supposed to be on a scene. And it's awkward when that happens because you go through all these rounds of like auditions and they're like, you're going to be on the show.
Right.
And then you tell everybody you know. You tell your family, you tell your friends, and everybody's like, all right, this is going to be the big night.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you're watching it, you're like, all right, this is a scene. I'm going to be famous. Where is it? And then you're like, where is it? It's supposed to be right there. And then you're like, did they cut me out? And then you're talking to your friends like the next day, they're like, where were you? You know,
Yeah.
you're like, no, I was supposed to be on there. They're
Right.
like, were you? You know, so it's very awkward. And actually, I got my dad in the audience tonight, just
Oh,
in
all
case
right.
you guys kick me off the show
Yeah,
tonight. Yeah,
well,
if
you know. No, no.
if you guys cut me off, I'm covered. He'll be like, he was there. I saw him. So yeah.
No, no, it's all good.
Yeah,
I mean,
thank
it's
you.
funny because, I mean, do you ever run across those friends, too, that are, like, so supportive that they'll just tell you they saw you? No, because you were there, dude. You were there. And you're like, dude,
All the
no.
time. Yeah, you're like, no, I don't think that was me. Like, yeah.
And they're like,
yeah.
yes. And they're, like, so emphatic.
They're excited. Weren't you the guy from the Burger King thing? And you're like, I like Burger King. Like I wasn't. I like to eat it, but I wasn't in anything.
Yeah,
like
right.
that. Yeah, yeah.
No, but you know what, man? I mean, that's still really cool. You got to
Thank you,
work
yeah.
with those guys. I mean, you're doing great stuff. You do a lot of stuff out in New York, too.
I do, yeah. I try to. I try to get out in the city a couple times a year just to
Yeah,
have
yeah.
fun. And, you know, it's like Ann Arbor. It's just blowing up everywhere.
Dude,
So,
I
yeah,
love it, man.
It's a fun town for sure,
Well,
absolutely.
And you've performed at the Ann Arbor Comedy Showcase, too, quite a bit.
I did, yeah. That's my home club. That's
Nice.
where I started in the
Yeah,
little
yeah.
basement area. And
Heck yeah,
took Chili Chalice's seminar when I
Yeah,
started.
Chili Chalice, great writer of the
yeah,
show,
yeah.
Chili Chalice. Yeah.
So that's kind of where I started. He was always kind of in my corner coaching me when I started. And Ann Arbor's a great club. And, you know, Roger was very nice about giving me opportunities over the years.
Oh,
and
yeah.
so always enjoy coming here to Ann Arbor. So, yeah.
Heck yeah, man. I mean, you know, we love the fact, too, you know, a lot of people don't know this. I mean, the Ann Arbor Comedy Showcase just has a tremendous comedy history. So there's a tremendous, you know, comedy history here in the city. And the fact, too, that you've had the chance to work there, but then, you know, work with Chili. You know, great writer, great guy, great coach.
For sure.
Phenomenal.
I mean, it's a historical club. I mean, guys like Mark Sweetman, I think, started there,
There we
too.
go.
And
Yeah.
John Heffron, who won Last Comic Standing, I think, has started there. And that's the cool thing about doing stand-up. Like, you start in Ann Arbor, and you're like, all right, hopefully I can be a comic one day. And then you start working with some of your heroes and stuff. And it's been very, you know, just a lot of fun over the years. So,
Dude,
yeah.
that's awesome, man.
Thank
that's
you,
awesome.
man.
So talk about some gigs coming up. What do you got coming
Yeah,
up?
just I was traveling a lot, so
Nice.
I'm home for the next couple of weeks, just kind of working at home. So nothing better than you know, being home with the family and stuff.
yeah.
So a couple little Michigan spots, and people can go, I guess, to my website or something if they want to
Heck
see
yeah.
any more of the stand-up. and stuff like
AndyBeningo.com,
that.
I think.
That's
is
it. Yeah,
There
that's
we
it
go.
for sure. So cool, man.
Cool, brother. No, thanks so much for being on.
Thank you for having
we'd
me.
love to have you back.
Oh,
man.
thank you very much.
Hey,
Andy.
thank
You
you.
too.
Andy
Thanks so much,
Beningo, everybody. All right.
Thank you.
All right, folks, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Ann Arbor Tonight. Yeah, all right. Yeah, thank you so much. We have, again, a special treat for you tonight. Please welcome Mariah and James, everybody.
Let me go. I don't want to be your hero. I don't want to be a big man. I just want to fight with everyone else.
Your masquerade. I don't want to be part of your parade. Everyone deserves a chance to walk with everyone else.
While holding down a job to keep my girl around, maybe buy me some new strings, her a night out on the weekend.
And we can whisper things, secrets from our American dreams. Baby needs some protection, 'cause I'm a kid like everyone else. So let me go, I don't wanna be your hero. I don't wanna be a big man, I just wanna fight with everyone else. Your masquerade, I don't wanna be part of your parade. Everyone deserves a chance to walk with everyone else. So let me go, I don't wanna be your hero. I don't wanna be a big man, I just wanna fight with everyone else. Your masquerade, I don't wanna be part of your parade. Everyone deserves a chance to walk with everyone else.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. That was Family of the Year. Oh, that was Hero by Family of the Year.
This next song we're going to do is I'll Follow You Into the Dark by Death Cab for Cutie.
Love of mine, someday you will die, but I'll be close behind. I'll follow you into the dark. No blinding light or tunnels to gates of white, just our hands clasped so tight, waiting for a hint of spark. If heaven and hell decide that they both are satisfied, illuminate the nose on their vacancy signs. If there's no one beside you when your soul embarks, then I'll follow you into the dark.
In Catholic school, as vicious as Roman rule, I got my knuckles bruised by a lady in black. I held my tongue as she told me, son, fear is the heart of love. So I never went back. If heaven and hell decide that they both are satisfied, illuminate the nose on their vacancy signs. If there's no one beside you when your soul embarks, then I'll follow you into the dark. You and me have seen everything to see, from Bangkok to Calgary, and the soles of your shoes are all worn down. The time for sleep is now, but it's nothing to cry about, 'cause we'll hold each other soon in the blackest of rooms. If
heaven and hell decide that they both are satisfied. Illuminate the nose on their vacancy signs. If there's no one beside you when your soul embarks, then I'll follow you into the dark. Then I'll follow you into the dark.
All right. Come on over here, guys. Come on over here. Yeah. Hey, have a seat, Mariah. Good to see you. Thanks for coming.
Thank you. Yeah.
Hey, James, thanks for coming. Have a seat. Man, my goodness. Man. Wow, wonderful job. Man, with voices like that, I could fall for that music anytime.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, but anyway, no, great performance. So you guys are local. You're right out of Dexter, right? Dexter High School. Awesome, right down the road. Now, tell me, guys, I mean, how does it feel to be performing now as a group, and then you're working on your first album now? So talk a little bit about that.
It's pretty awesome, honestly. You know, I didn't think that we were going to be here at the beginning of the year. You know, we actually just got started working on this together this year.
Nice.
And it's been crazy but fun.
Yeah.
No, that's great. So talk a little bit about the background. You guys were in choir together
Mhm.
in high school and then met. And then how did it work to where you guys were like, hey, we make a pretty good musical pair?
Well, actually, our choir teacher, Mrs. Bassett, wanted us to do the song that we played, Hero, the first one, for a Veterans Day concert.
Okay.
And we like singing together, and we figured we should do more songs together, and now we're doing more songs together.
There we go. That's wonderful. And so you guys are working on your first album right now. How's that experience been for you? Has it been different or what you expected?
Well, I've never recorded anything really before, so it's been new, but it's been really fun.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Yeah, no, I never thought we would. Yeah.
No, that's great. So Mariah and James. So basically, who are some people that you would love to perform for, love to open up for in the future if you had the opportunity?
Love to perform for? I don't know. My family.
Yeah, your family.
I'm sure they're proud of me.
No, that's good. That's good. Family's good, right, guys? We like family. All right. No, that's great. And I wish you guys all the best. Please keep us posted when the new album is coming out. And thank you, Miss Bassett, wherever you are, for what you did putting this wonderful group together. Mariah and James, everybody, I want to thank you so much. That's our show. Thank you so much. This is Dan Arbor Tonight, episode 6. And I want to thank Andy Beningo for being on the show. I want to thank the wonderful Julian Pavone, the world's youngest drummer, and family for coming out. I want to thank magician Jeff Wawrzaszek, and I want to thank, of course, the wonderful Mariah and James, and of course Dave, Alicia, and Leo for putting up with me this evening, and of course CTN and the City of Ann Arbor. Thank you so much for watching Ann Arbor Tonight.